Hello everybody and welcome to SparkleDart. Today's episode is going to be my favorite game, Crash Bandicoot. It's something I've loved since I was a little wee baby baba, riding around in strollers, skipping down the street, pushing cans with rocks, and all that stuff. All the stuff that little kids like to do that you don't do so much anymore because it's 2017 and not 1950 or whatever year it was that kids used to do that stuff, go to the drive-in theater, meet up with their lady friend at the park and go to the sugar shack and get a malted milkshake. We don't do that stuff anymore. We haven't done that stuff in over 10 years. It's been a while. So I'm not doing that kind of thing no more. What I am doing, however, is just enjoying my days in the adult working world. It's a lot of fun, let me tell you what, being an adult. What you get to do when you're an adult that you don't get to do when you're a little kid, well, there's a whole a plethora of things. And let's go down those things one by one, I think we should do. Number one, play with Legos. Now you might be thinking to yourself, SparkleDart, of course you can still play with Legos when you're an adult, it's just a little bit weird. And I'm going to lay that little idea in your mind that you have to rest. I'm going to tell you this right now. When you get Legos as an adult and build them, you are not playing with them. You are assembling a kit. It's no different than getting like a model, like a B-15 bomber or a 747 Boeing airline or Optimus Prime or something like that. It's no different. It really is not. And when you're a kid, you get your Legos and you're like, oh man, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to make Harry Potter and Snape and Voldemort go meet the Ninja Turtles. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do this all afternoon and build up these fantasy worlds that don't really exist, but they do in the minds of children because they're innocent and their hearts are in the right place, unlike you jaded adults who can't enjoy things anymore because you have to pay taxes. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to belittle you or nothing like that. I'm just trying to make a point here that when you become jaded, it becomes apparent. And you say things like, oh, well, SparkleDart, I'm still childlike on the inside. I still play video games and go to the movie theaters and go to the arcades and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm going to tell you this right now. No, you don't. You just like to think that you do because you did one time when you and your friends went out drinking. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I don't think I've ever actually played that. Not sure why that's on there. You might think that you do because one time your friends went out drinking and there was like a bar down the street that you went to go and check out, and they had Frogger and Street Fighter 2 there on arcade machines. That's all they had. They didn't have anything else. They didn't have Shadows of Neptunia. I'm just gonna make up video game names because I'm a jaded, bitter old adult, exactly like what I'm trying to describe right now. Nothing like that. So you think to yourself, SparkleDart, I can still enjoy the intricacies of youth. I can still pretend that I've got that youthful spirit inside of me, taking hold of my mind and body and soul. Like in Christianity, like what God likes to do. Anyways, no, it's not like that. It's a whole thing being a working adult in the working world. Not that any of you children would know about that because you all live at home with your parents and you maybe go to community college and you watch your Avengers and you go on and you watch Riverdale. Oh, that's something I'm going to talk about. Riverdale. So about 70 years ago, a print comic started called Archie Comics. Go check it out, archie.com. .comics. Haha, that's a joke. And just recently, because we've been co-opting comics so much and like the Avengers and the Marvels, mostly the Marvels, but there's some DC ones too, like Gotham. But I'm talking like where they got the Flash or Supergirl. They're turning them into like TV shows. I think Smallville might have started this whole trend. I say trend in air quotes, but you can't see that because it's a video and you can't see me in the video. So just understand that I was doing air quotes when I said trend. It's more like a fad, and it will die out eventually, like all good fads do, like Pokemon Go. Let's talk about Pokemon Go for a little minute. So when Pokemon Go first came out, it was a big, huge hit at my office because I work as an artist, and not an autist, an artist. And everybody in my office was playing it because they're all nerds who grew up in the 90s. Well, me, I'm a jaded old man who doesn't like that sort of stuff. So what happened was I decided to check it out, throw them a bone, be like, okay, let me see what these youngsters are up to these days. Let me see if I can't get in on the latest hottest memes of 2016 is when that came out. So I did, and I got my Pikachus and my Charmanders and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can see why someone might like this. I don't personally find it to be super entertaining, but you know what, I can appreciate why somebody might like this, because like I said, you know, even though I'm bitter and jaded, I can still see the good in life, you know. I see a Mexican fella robbing a bank. I say to myself, you know what? He's probably just down on his luck. He's probably just trying to feed his family. I'm sure for whatever reason he's doing this, he's got a good reason, you know. And I'm not here to judge, you know. I'm not one of those guys who says to all of his friends, so that black guy who lives down the street, right? You know, I don't start my sentences out that way. I start my sentences out, so that fella who lives on the corner, and then my friend says, oh, you mean the black guy? I'm like, I didn't want to go there, but yeah, okay. So that fella who lives on the corner, you know, he recently got busted for child pornography. Oh, you mean the black guy got busted for child pornography? Yes, he's black, and yes, he got busted for child pornography, but those two things are not related. Listen, if you want to... Okay. Listen, if you want to generalize, at least, you know, make your generalizations make sense. You know, that's not something that people ever talk about in the movies. It's about how black people are super into child pornography. That's not something you ever hear about on TMZ or on, Entertainment Weekly or on the cover of People. You know, you don't see that kind of stuff. Or on Time Magazine. Instead, all you see is slanders and criticisms of our president, Donald J. Trump, the fellow with the orange skin and the yellow hair. He looks like, you know what he looks like? He looks like if you took, if you unwrapped several Starbursts and rolled them into a ball, but you didn't, like, mix the colors. Instead, you just, like, kind of made it into, like a ball with different layers of colors on it. That's what he looks like. Well, specifically if you took the orange ones and the yellow ones. But, you know, you could add some pink in there, too. I'm sure his belly is pink. Is that a saying? Pink belly? Oh no, yellow belly. That means you're a coward. You're a coward. So yeah, make his belly yellow, make his skin orange, and make his hair yellow. And then you got yellow, orange, yellow. And then people will be like, "You trying to make a rainbow here?" And you're like, "No, I'm not gay. I would never make a rainbow." Not to sound like a homophobe here or anything, but the person that I'm doing this improv for, this imaginary person, is gay, so he has to be a homophobe in the various comments and criticism that he makes when he makes social observations. So anyways, here's a topic. Kim Jong-un's brother was assassinated, and let me give you a little bit of a history on that. So Kim Jong-un's brother, I don't know his name, but I'm guessing it's probably Kim Jong something. Kim Jong-sung? Maybe that sounds right. So let's go with that. Let's say that that's the right answer. So anyways, he was assassinated, and what happened was, so many years ago when Kim Jong-un took over of North Korea after Kim Jong-il passed away, God rest his soul, his older brother was supposed to take the throne. But what wound up happening is his older brother went to Japan and went to Disneyland Tokyo. And, of course, Disney is the poster boy of capitalism and all that stuff. And North Korea is not about that. So they're like, no, you can't be the one true God, Emperor, King of North Korea now, Kim Jong-un. So it's going to have to be a younger, fatter brother who likes cake. And he's like, oh, okay, that's fine, as long as that means that I still get to go to Tokyo. And like, well, we really prefer that you don't, but I can understand. I know you're a big fan of anime. Anime is really cool and all, but we've kind of got a legacy to run here, and if you're not going to participate, we'd really rather you either change your name or just move out of the country. If not, you know, I didn't want it to have to come to this, but we might just kill you. You know, you're my son and everything, but we might just kill you. Because really, I mean, how can you claim to be a Kim Jong? I don't know what their surname is because they all go by Kim Jong, but then they've got different last names. Maybe it's different in Korean. I don't know. I don't speak any slant I languages. I did learn a little bit of Japanese. I got the Rosetta Stone for Japanese, and they're like konnichiwa, and they're like arrivederci. No, that's Italian. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. If you want to learn languages, the only language I can really teach you is a little bit of Russian. So I will do that right now. In Russian, apple is яблоко, okay? Dog is собака, and speak is говорю. And you can conjugate that any number of ways, but the way that you would conjugate that word specifically is, so you want to say, I speak Russian, you'd say, я говорю по-русски. Okay? That's how you say it. Now, I know you didn't tune into my channel to learn something, but now you can walk away saying that you did. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going for this program where you can be entertained, but you can also learn a little bit too, you know. And I'm not a scholar or nothing. I'm a white collar fella, or a blue collar fella. Wait, what's the poor one? Blue collar? Okay, I'm a blue collar fella. You know, I eat corn flakes in the morning. I don't eat eggs, poached eggs, and all sorts of garbage like that. I'm not into that kind of thing. That's not me. That's not who I am. That's not who I choose to be. Anyways, I try to make a difference, like I said, but sometimes it's kind of difficult to make a difference when people aren't so susceptible to change. And I don't want to be the guy who says, you know what, you kind of have to adapt with the times, otherwise people are going to think you're a racist or a rapist or any combination of those two things. But that's kind of what happens. Now, not to go on a tangent about rape here, nothing like that. But I was always baffled by the word rapist, because much like the word artist, the ist at the end of it implies a profession. Like, you have art, and then you have somebody who is proficient at art. He's an artist. So it's like, it would for rape, would that be like he's good at rape, so he's a rapist? Like it's an art for him, a hobby, something that he's good at that he can share with the world, and go to the Smithsonian and share his wisdom. I don't know. You know what? I don't know about that, because I feel like the Smithsonian, if they're going to showcase anything in their archives, they wouldn't want a sleazy, dirty man with a Ned Flanders mustache standing around being like, okay, let me teach to you the intricacies of rape. So first of all, you have to be able to pinpoint the best bushes to hide out in, because, you know, if you're going to be committing these, well, let's call them felonies, because, you know, that's what they are. You're going to want to make sure you don't get caught. So what you're going to want to do is secure yourself a nice pair of thick-framed sunglasses. Not sunglasses, just regular glasses, seeing glasses, reading glasses. Get yourself a nice wool sweater, and, you know, just find a nice bush to squat down in, and people will know what you're doing, but it's easy to sneak up on them that way. So, anyways, I think that about wraps up this first episode of Crash Bandicoot. We were kind of all over the board on that, but please just let me know that you're okay. You know, I just want to know that you're safe, that you made it home okay last night. All right, so thanks. See you later. Goodbye. Mwah.